Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my first ever Pokemon Showdown replay narration. I've been thinking of doing this for a really long time now, but I've just never got to it because I've been really lazy about it. But I've been watching PokeTubers for a really long time now, and I've always felt like I should also give it a shot and see how it goes as a side hobby. Let me know what you guys think of these videos and how I can improve. I'm always open to constructive criticism as long as it's delivered politely. Um, Also, if you guys have any games you want me to narrate on, I would love to do that. I'm going to be narrating more games of other people than my own, so make sure you let me know if you want to watch any games. Anyway, this game was for NU Open Round 5 in Grand Slam. I really needed to win this game because I'm on a really good point pedestal right now, and I'm in two Opens, Ubers and NU, and if I win a few more rounds, I have a really good shot at qualifying for playoffs. Um, so let's just get right into the game. Looking at the matchup, I seem to have a pretty decent matchup, I would say, because I have Vikavolt and his Vikavolt checks are quite bleak, honestly. Like nothing really like switching in a Vikavolt after rocks, especially. And his on his side, the Delphox just seemed to like rip apart my entire team because I have nothing, honestly, that can even take a hit except Vaporeon. But Vaporeon also can get weakened and basically get obliterated after a Calm Mind. And if it specs as well, I do not want to switch into a spec psychic by any means. So let's just get right into the game. Starting off, he leads with Seismitoad. His intention was to get rocks up, obviously, but I have a Xatu, so I was anyway gonna threaten that. I click Bug Buzz on turn 1, basically trying to bluff my Scarf and also scouting for a switch because usually there's no way Seismitoad stays in on Vikavolt because of the fear of Energy Ball. So I click Bug Buzz, bluffing my Scarf even though I am Z-Bug. And the next turn he just proceeds to stay in and I click Energy Ball and he dies, which is great for me. I'm already a Mon up and it's just the first turn. He goes on a Delphox and I'm forced to switch out because it threatens my entire team. I go on a Vaporeon, which was the appropriate switch. He clicks Calm Mind. He's in a great position right now. My only play here is Toxic because there's no even if I click Scald, he can Calm Mind up 2 more times and he can probably Z-move and kill me, and I'm in a very terrible situation. If I Toxic, I can possibly stall him out with Protect and Wish, and then I can be in a decent position and make some plays around him. Now that he's clicked Calm Mind, I click Toxic. Unfortunately, I miss, and he clicks Calm Mind on. He clicks Calm Mind, and the next turn I click Protect. This was basically last move prediction because I wasn't really sure what to click here because I knew that I thought that Vaporeon was going to die here, so I just clicked Protect because I thought I could scout for a Z-move. If he clicked Calm Mind, I had only one option left anyway, otherwise I was going to get swept regardless of whatever he clicked. So I clicked Protect, predicting him to click Psychic, Z-Psychic, and I got that right, so he did 31 through my Protect. Here I calced and my Vaporeon lived Psychic, and I clicked Toxic again, and I missed again, unfortunately. So basically, if you look at my matchup right now, it looks like I'm pretty much going to get 6-0'd because I have nothing in the back except for a Scarf Emboar. And that was my last hope. I looked at my Emboar set and for some ungodly reason I had EQ on this. And as you can see, he ends up sacking his Delphox, which was great for me because Delphox was the main threat to my team and it could come in and get a kill every single time, but he ended up sacking it. He basically sacked it because EQ on Emboar is definitely not standard. It's just I don't know, I just had it for some reason and it got lucky. So I killed him here. He goes to his Guzzlord because as you can see, Guzzlord also has a very good matchup against my teammate. Basically, he can click Dark Pulse quite freely. Here I decide to stay in, predicting him to click Dark Pulse or Fire Blast because those 2 moves have basically can chip anything on my team, and he's obviously specs because Guzzlord is best with specs on it. So I stay in, I continue clicking EQ. This turn he switches out to Rotom on my EQ because he didn't want to sack his Emboar. I've got a bunch of Rotom switch-ins. I've got Steelix, I've got Wild Plume. I go to my Wild Plume here, if I remember correctly. So he goes back into his Emboar making... Oh, I went to Vikavolt, I'm sorry. So that put me in a great position again. So I got basically a free turn to attack something. So he goes into his Garbodor, makes an aggressive play there, spiking even though I have a Xatu. I click T-Bolt and I go to my Xatu here. Oh, I completely forgot this game. He goes into Steelix. I go to Steelix right now because I wanted to get my rocks up, and he clicks Pain Split. So I think I go to my Xatu here right now. Yep, and he clicks Spike. So I get some momentum there. Here I click Psychic as far as I remember. Yep, and he just sacks his Garbodor. Now he goes into his Rotom, threatening my Xatu, so I have to switch out, and I go into my Vikavolt. He just clicks Shadow Ball, but luckily I don't get 2-hit KO'd, so I can chip him off again. And I just click Z Bug Buzz here, and I get off a really nice damage roll on him. And he's pretty weak now. And he's in range of any hits from my Vileplume. So now Vileplume basically gets a kill or chips something off completely. So I just click Sludge Bomb here as far as I remember. Did I click a Giga? No, I click Sludge Bomb. So Guzzlord still does not die, and that kind of made it annoying for me, so I had to just like go back into my Emboar. But he was obviously going to click Fire Blast, so I was able to live. And here I click Flare Blitz, just revenging his Emboar. Now he has to go to Rotom again because that's the only mon that's faster than my Emboar. So he kills my Emboar. I go back into my Vileplume. I basically win here because there's nothing he can honestly do. So he clicks Shadow Ball, and I just click Giga Drain because I could have synthesized there, but honestly it wouldn't have made a big difference because I think I was in a winning position anyway. Hitmonlee wasn't going to be able to kill my Vileplume at that level. So he clicks High Jump Kick, I click Synthesis, and I basically win this game. Let's move on to game 2. Now, game 2, I brought a team made by TDK. This team was basically, I like this team a lot, so I thought I'd just use it, and it has a Vileplume as well. Vileplume was like, Vileplume is right now, is like pretty hot right now in NU. He brought a team which he likes using a lot. He's used it in the past as well. It's basically got a lot of offensive threats, and basically it's meant to scare your team out a lot. I led with my Sneasel because, as you can see, Sneasel's got a pretty decent matchup versus Xatu, Meloetta, and in general was quite okay. If he led with Seismitoad, I would just go back. I would just go into my Xatu the first turn. He leads with Vikavolt, which was a pretty good lead on his part because Vikavolt basically threatens everything on my team. And the first turn I basically misplayed. For some reason I thought that I didn't calc this, and for some reason I thought that knockoff from Sneasel would kill the Vikavolt because it was Choice Band Sneasel. But as you can see, there was no item knocked off, which would basically meant that he was Z Vikavolt, and I just got a really minor chip and I lost my Sneasel the first turn, which was pretty good for him. So now I go to my Meloetta because Meloetta basically he has no normal resist, so I can fire off a Hyper Voice here and not worry about any repercussions. He goes into his Emboar. Obviously him going to his Emboar meant that it's Scarf, so I had to switch out. I went to my Seismitoad. He clicked Superpower, which was quite free for him. So now I predict him to go to his Xatu, but he goes into his Sneasel making an aggressive play, and I clicked Knockoff predicting the Xatu, but it goes into Sneasel. And here again I predict him to go into Xatu predicting my rocks, but he makes another good play and he just knocks off, and I'm forced to Scald. So this basically means that I do not get rocks up this game, and I'm in a very terrible position. Next, my only decent switch into Sneasel is Rotom because it's the only one that's faster than Sneasel. This doesn't die on the spot, so I go into my Rotom. I click Volt Switch, which was an aggressive play. I didn't think he would go to Seismitoad, but he made that play. But because he's playing quite aggressive this game, so I thought that he wouldn't go to Seismitoad. And since I'm Scarfed, I'm forced to switch out again. I go to my Vileplume here because I knew he wouldn't rock since I have a Xatu in the back. I click Vileplume, and then this was a pretty important turn in the game because I just had an intuition that he would click rocks here, and I went to my Xatu, and as you can see, the play worked out for me. So I get rocks up on the field, which is quite big because now the Sneasel can only come in once more, and it dies the next time it comes in because that's 40%. So now I go back into my Vileplume, and he clicks Scald once again. No, he clicks Protect actually. So again, great position, and this was the main turn in the game where he decided to click Stealth Rock because he just felt that he prioritized his Stealth Rock more than keeping his Seismitoad alive, and he basically I traded his Seismitoad for Stealth Rock, which was fantastic for me because now you can see he has no electric resist, and Rotom seems to have a field day, especially with Rocks up and no electric resist. So he goes into his Xatu. I just decided to scout this turn to see if he has Psychic or Psyshock, and luckily for me he has Psyshock because Psychic would do over 50 to me, and I just click Sludge Bomb. It does 40 and I get the poison as well, which was great for me again. So I'm in a fantastic position right now, even though I'm a Mon down, but I'm threatening him as much as I can, and the Vileplume looks like a really annoying Mon for him to deal with. So here I just kill his Xatu, and Vileplume's on the field. Now he has a bunch of switch-ins, but he decides to go to Sneasel. Here I calced, and Icicle Crash was a roll in my favor, and I lived almost 100% of the time, I believe. And unfortunately, I got flinched, and that means that Sneasel would once again be really annoying to me. So now I'm forced once again to go to my Rotom, because that's the only Mon that actually outspeed Sneasel. He clicks Ice Shard, getting a chip off. I click Volt Switch, pivoting into something that's actually useful versus his team, which is Meloetta. So I go into my Meloetta. Now he has to go to Emboar this turn because it's the only Mon faster, and Meloetta speed ties with my Meloetta. So this was another important turn in the game. I am Rocky Helmet Xatu, so I basically wanted him to click Flare Blitz and die to Rocky Helmet damage plus recall damage, and that would also mean that my Meloetta could potentially just sweep and put me in a really good position. But he makes a really nice read and doubles into his Meloetta, predicting my Xatu. And I go into my Xatu. Now, this was the deciding turn of the game. I could either... Apparently my recorder just crashed, which is kind of sad. I'm just such a noob at this, it's going to take me a while to get used to. Sorry about that. But yeah, getting back into the game. This was a deciding turn of the game. It was really difficult for me to decide here what to do, because if I go into Meloetta, I potentially can get killed and I lose as well. But if you look at the situation carefully, if I sack my Xatu here, I have zero chance of winning, because I go into my Meloetta the next turn. I can threaten him. I can threaten him to kill him, but there's no way he's gonna stay in when he can just sack his Vikavolt and then sweep with Emboar the turn later. So my only play here is to go into my own Meloetta and pray that I live and I revenge him the next turn. But as you guys were about to see, he clicks Shadow Ball, which was amazing for me, because now it basically meant I 100% lived the turn. He also reveals that he's not Specs this turn, and again, this turn I had a feeling that he would go to Vikavolt and sack, because he can go to Emboar again and threaten me out, but he stays in and I click Hyper Voice. Again, we're down to a speed tie, and I lose the speed tie again, but I kind of spoiled that. But I lose the speed tie, but as you can see, I got really lucky. I got a min roll, and I click Z Focus Blast here, and I basically win the game, because now my Rotom 100% sweeps him with Shadow Ball. So he goes into his Vikavolt and he just forfeits the turn afterwards. So this was my NU Open Round 5 games. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this recording wasn't as good as I wish it would have gone, but I'm working on it. I'm gonna try to improve my narrations and my quality and everything. I just hope you guys are open to poor quality for now. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Peace.